New Modern Warfare recently came out, and I would say that the UI itself, how it visually is okay, but the user experience of it is pretty dreadful. So I'm just gonna go through the UI and just like basically whinge and moan. So one of the first things is, we'll start top left. There's a back button that goes fucking, it literally just goes nowhere. What's the bloody point in that? And I haven't come from anywhere, so why give me a back button? This whole thing up here in the top right is an absolute shit show. Starting off with this menu here, which no one will ever click. It has home, sweet. Social, which is the same as if you click this button here. Don't know why it needs to be in here. We also have progression and achievements, which I didn't even know existed until making a video where I was kind of like thinking about analyzing the UI. Why this and the achievements are not just like main menu items and then just removed. Like you could, this could be 1 or 2 buttons. The social page though is absolutely dreadful. I don't know why the priority for this page is people I've recently been in a party with. Because 99% of the time I come to this page because I'm either joining my friend or inviting my friend or something. So why is this page where it's friends not the primary page? And the funny thing is they have this hub which shows recent activity, but then they have a recent tab which is just way better at doing what that they're trying to show. If I was in a game with someone who was sus and I want to report them or add them as a friend, this page will do that, but the hub is like, it's doing 2 things very badly as opposed to these other tabs that are doing things well. This showcase page also, I don't understand what the point of this is. Like, none of it works. So the hub on the social page to me makes no sense. It doesn't do what you want it to do, and what it is doing is doing poorly compared to dedicated pages here of friends of recent. This whole thing in the top right could be cleaned up and shrunk. So now we get into the main bit here, which is like this thing here. This quick play, I feel like, is confusing. It doesn't really make sense. To me, if you have a quick play button, that means I want to go straight into a match. I don't care. But that's not even what it is. It's actually just main multiplayer. That button is all multiplayer, basically. That's like the main multiplayer game modes outside of extra things like round. And the funny thing is, most people will come in here and they'll probably want to filter something. They're like, hardpoint is dog shit, so you want to get rid of that. But like they have a thing here which is filtered playlists. Why is this and this not the same thing? Fuck this UI off and chuck it in here and just let me add more detail, but just let this be the main focus. It doesn't make sense that I come into quick play, and the word quick play itself isn't correct, because this isn't quick play, this is I want to play multiplayer in its entirety, basically. So why is that not, the filtered options are a core part of this page? It should be connected to this. No one's even looking at this because they have to go in here to select what the fuck they want to play. Again, dumb. So featured, this just doesn't make sense. This shouldn't be featured. These 2 are fine, they are featured game modes, fine. So this thing is just confusing. And then you have the scroll, which is just, again, makes no sense. There's this tab thing over here which is completely pointless because it's one scroll, at least on my screen. It's this and then this. I'm sure they scale these to fit screens appropriately. Keep quick play, make it actually quick play, just chuck me in any game, I don't give a shit. And then have a button here that says multiplayer playlists or whatever. And why another sign that this UX UI was not thought out properly is the fact that you have fucking benchmark in multiplayer. What part of benchmark is multiplayer? Why is benchmark not in the graphic settings? Here, button down here, benchmark. Why the fuck is it under multiplayer? It just shows that it wasn't thought out. Another thing here is if you want to do campaign, I've completed the campaign. If I want to do a mission, it has to close the entire game and open up the campaign version of the game. And when you launch it from Steam, you don't get the option of going single player or multiplayer. If you remember in the old 2019 Modern Warfare, you had 3 tiles, which was like multiplayer, campaign, I think co-op before Warzone was added, and there was 4, I think. So this has to open a whole, has to close. It takes like a good minute because Steam has to go, shut down, open this. So just to recap on this page, quick play isn't quick play. It's actually just basically all the multiplayer playlists, and then all the multiplayer playlists aren't actually under multiplayer; they're under featured. And why do you see the problem with this fucking flow? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we've ranted about that. It's fucking awful. In my opinion, it should be you select, right, am I doing multiplayer? Am I doing the campaign? Am I doing co-op? Am I doing Warzone? Am I doing DMZ? Like, what am I doing? Then you can give me all the options and the loadouts and the operators and all the bullshit, right? There's very few things that overarch across all 5 of those. Like the store and the battle pass probably overarches all of those hierarchy from a hierarchy point of view. But like weapon loadouts probably don't. You can't even use weapon loadouts in campaign, right? So that's the point I'm making there. Okay, so the next thing, weapons. This page is, I think, is fine. Firing range is a bit of a hidden option, but I think like this page here, there's not much to show, and they did okay. There's some funny things on the operator page. You know, you have this preview of the operators, which is really cool. So Luna, it selects the, like, it kind of like fake selects the one you're hovering over. So I'm like, oh, I can't actually scroll. I want to preview Luna. I go like that, and it changes because I hover over these. And the even funnier thing is, if I go all the way around and do preview, there's no benefit to this page. There's nothing here. There's no information. And the funny thing is, they have more information to show, because if you go to bio, there's some text here. There is stuff they could show on this preview page. Like some details about like backstory, all this, but they don't. They just show this pointless view. Another thing here is if you actually go to bio, and you hover, this overlay box doesn't block the selection. The whole thing's fucking weird. I'm not even gonna look at the store, because I can't, well, actually can't. Okay, let's look at weapons. I think kill streaks visually is okay. I think personally I would have done a vertical scroll. I think horizontal scrolls anywhere are just crap. They're just not very good. You know, if you're not using a scroll wheel, because I didn't even realize you could for a while. There's an arrow to go right over here, but you can't go left. So then you have to come down here and use this thing. I think one of the stupidest places in this whole UI is the weapon customization and loadout stuff. So I have my assault in 4. We have this whole thing about like what you click here doesn't also make sense. It took me a while to even notice that this actually says swap, and I don't understand why gunsmith as a button is above the gun, because they have in the UI they have other places where you have 2 buttons in this like foldy down panel. So why not have swap and gunsmith? Because these are 2 different things. If I click this, I choose the gun, but if I click this, I actually modify the gun. So there's just like, it's confusing. And then sometimes you select things you don't like. Here, if I go here, I select that. It's a selection. Whereas I click this, it's like it opens up another menu. Then there's the whole weapon platform thing, and this is just, honestly, it's really hard to see the progression, like of what a progression of a gun. You know, I even clicked the wrong thing then. I think the modifying the guns is fine. Like, this is a pretty tried and true way of modifying a gun. Lots of games do this now. I play a lot of Tarkov, and it's pretty similar. You select parts of the gun and it's kind of cool. The platform thing is, not only does it not really make sense as like how guns function, but like some of these trees can get pretty weird looking. And like we have this weird view. And sometimes like tracking how you actually unlock a thing is really fun. Like, look at this tree. Like, what the fuck is this? Like I can scroll up, I can scroll like up and down here. Like what, like, why is this UI even like this? It just doesn't need to be. Why is this not just vertical? It doesn't make any sense. Like, this is just not clear, is it? Like, this is not clear. It's just crap. But there's no hierarchy in any of this. Like, the firing range is the button is just fucking odd places. Like, it's not here for some reason. Even like in a loadout, I go here and there's the firing range. That layout should just be vertical. This should be up at the sub button. Doesn't need to be its own fucking thing up here. The progression should seriously be integrated somehow better than what they've done, because it's just a random thing floating up here, and that's like one of the main ways you actually know how to progress guns. Because like in this game, you spend most of your time leveling up guns. Because like, you know, you max out your M4, then what? Another thing here is you can it's really funny when you look at this page. This is editing the gun. This thing here, this receiver, is completely invisible because you're focused on these points for the gun, right? This is actually a really important part, because this receiver changes how the gun functions completely. And if you want to make, I don't know, for example, let's just change this to, I think in SM, where's the Lachman? There's a good example. Where's the Lachman? This Lachman, which is a 7.62 gun, I think you can turn it into basically like, I don't think this is how guns work. Another thing here is, look, how do I unlock this? How do I unlock this fucking thing? Whoa. Yeah, just broke it. I literally just broke it. Did you see that? I'll do that again. Go here. This scroll thing literally just takes you back to the UI. To the fucking home page. But here, how do I unlock this? 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 Because what they want you to do is go like here and go, oh, I have to look at this stupid tree and go, I want to turn my magical 762 Lachman, whatever the fuck, into an MP5. And then I see the track. And I have to trace it back up. Look at this. Look how shit this is. Look how shit this is. Okay, so when I get to level 13 here, which is here, we have this nice little line, which is really great, and shows me. And then the annoying thing is, like, once you've unlocked 13, you have to come in here, go to gunsmith, go to receiver, and change it. It's just this. It's just honestly, because if you trace it back, if you really want a gun like the MP5, there's no information here about how you go about doing that. You have to look at this stupid fucking tree and figure it out. Look at this one. This is a great example. Look at this. It doesn't know where to scroll. It's like I'm just scrolling up and down, down. I have to drag. Like, it's just so bizarre. There's so many different freaky interactions. Sometimes you drag, sometimes you scroll, sometimes you can't use the arrows. Sometimes there's arrows, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's buttons above, sometimes they're not. Like, you go here, there's a button floating here. There's this doesn't even look like a button. This literally just looks like that's the receiver I'm using. Doesn't look like a button because it's a completely different design to this. Why aren't these grouped as like things you can do? Why is this not just like this? Why is this not a plus, like a more advanced version of this where it has a plus? Why don't they draw lines like in Tarkov to all the shit that you're changing? This doesn't look like a thing. This looks like a thing, but it's in a fucked up place. I guess we could also look at, we didn't look at the customizations, which I don't actually know how you get to. Oh, it's a tab up here. Okay, so this is customizations. Camo. Again, why the fuck do we have... I can't even click it. Oh, hold on. Why the fuck do we have, again, a fucking horizontal scroll? I don't... That you have... Look at this. What's funny about this is you have a horizontal scroll with tabs, and when you scroll... What the fuck? You see how... What the hell is it? Like, I scroll once and it goes past like 5 different things. Wait, hit the button. What's it doing? I literally just don't understand what this is. What? What are these? These ones here I can't hover on to see. These ones I can hover on. It'll tell me. Do you see how unobvious it is when I've actually unlocked something? But it's like skipping over loads of shit, and then this back button doesn't work. Even though I can go back. Like, what the fuck is this? These ones I can read, and it tells me what's wrong. What I need to get unlock this livery, right? This skin. These ones it doesn't even tell me. This one does though, but this one won't. The skins that are unlocked and locked don't stand out. Like, look at that. That one's unlocked. That one's not. It's only it's like the opacity here is set to like 50%. This is like set 60. And these are all like the color's been taken out. Because that's helpful. That's so unhelpful. If I'm looking for a specific, like, yeah, I want a cool, like, I don't know, green and black lit skin, I have to like literally just like hover over each one and be like, where like that, right? I'm like, I want the snow one, cool. But I didn't even know that was snow until like, you know. There's so much wrong with this page. Oh, there's a scroll down here as well. In fact, the best way to use this UI here is to use this scroll wheel. How embarrassing is that? Man, there's so much going on here. It's this is the best page. This is the best design page in the whole interface, and it's because it's 3 options that are very obvious. This is everything else is just fucking weird. It triggers me as a UX designer to use this. I've been using this for 30 hours, or 20 hours, but like 30 crashes when playing with friends. So many crashes between all of us. So this interface has a lot of issues. It wasn't thought out properly. I mean, they're adding, I don't know if this is a symptom of the fact that they're adding 2 or 3 other game modes to the game shortly. So maybe they're planning, maybe this is like a V1 and there is a V2 that's getting a big overhaul and it's going to change a lot of things. One of the dumbest things I think is quick play being here. Benchmark, put it in its own fucking category. Put in the graphics settings. Put a button here that says multiplayer playlists with an S. And when I go in it, this is open. And I can select which freaking playlists I want. Why is this in a filter bar here? Let me tick them. I've completed my daily challenges. They need to fucking look at them anymore. Fuck's sake. Let's go here. Yeah, sick page. Like many other people have said, this page here was like, oh my, look at this thing. Was the Hulu UX designer, you know, was hired and he made this UI because that's what he knew, and it doesn't make sense. So if you are the UX designer for this or the UI designer, I do apologize for roasting your interface, but I think it's a good way to learn. To me, this looks like it was made by a UI designer, and it was designed to look good because it looks pretty. Like if you look at it, it looks pretty. Like this is very pretty. This background moves slightly. This quick play, like it looks very pretty. The way it changes, it's very slick. It's very smooth. It's very pretty. But as a functional, you know, user experience, it's not that good. It's really not that good. And I think that they had it right in 2019 with the three huge tabs that would take you into a nested, you know, down a level or deeper into a specific area. But this is yeah, it needs work. But yeah, if you are the UX or UI designer who worked on this project, I do apologize for roasting your UI a little bit. You know, as a UX designer, it's very frustrating to use something that is not very, you know, the UX is not very good. I had to vent a little bit and just put out there my thoughts on this UI. I think this was designed by a UI designer who made it look pretty, and not a UI UX designer who tested it with users before it came into beta. Because in beta there wasn't, like, half the UI was obviously missing. But I don't think it was ever tested with a user. When you do user testing, you don't ask questions of like, yeah, so what don't you like? What would you change? You know, you get them to do tasks, and then you watch. And you get them just to use it as a user would use it. You don't just, like, I don't know. The people who reviewed the UI were people who probably knew it quite well and used it a lot, and they knew what everything was already doing, so they didn't, you know, struggle. But yeah, I think there's a lot here to improve. But yeah, sorry for the roast, whoever the UI UX designer is. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you like these kind of videos, let me know, because it could be interesting to do more. Yeah, and I could make a video with suggestions and like mock-ups of like wireframes of what could possibly be done. But we'll see. We'll see how it does. We'll see if people like this kind of thing. Just having someone moan about an interface for, you know, 10 minutes. But we'll see. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.